Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge here at the VDA Marina circuit, Abu Dhabi. Today's discipline is all about time. Now, you normally see me at drift, but today is not about drift completely. It's all about avoiding barrels and getting the fastest time around these mirrored tracks. Now, this is a completely different discipline for a lot of these drivers today here at the VDA. They have to go around a completely custom laid out circuit by our organisers, and they have to do it within the shortest time possible. They go head to head, and it's now time to head straight to the live action. Come onto the circuit, meet the drivers, look at the machinery and check out our YUKA Gymkhana Challenge track. That's loud. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a really good evening. In a few moments' time, we're going to invite you all down onto the circuit to look at these cars and meet our drivers. I'm going to try and catch up with this man, Anthony Habib. How are you finding it?
It's fun. It's a new experience. We've never had it in UAE before. It's a mix of autocross and drift and stuff.
Yeah, it's a completely different discipline to what you're used to. Maybe has that reined you in as a driver a little bit? It had to be a bit more technical?
Technical and more shallow because we don't like it.
But you're having loads of fun.
It is fun.
There we go, Anthony Habib, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a walk along, see who we can find, see who we can have a chat with. Nasser Al-Hamali. You look good out there. You've changed your driving style as well, like Anthony. I see you're not really sliding the car as much. You've kind of using the car for a bit more grip.
Yeah, we're running like a high gear so that the car doesn't want to drift. But then we have a problem that my brain can't remember the track layout. I guess in drifting, there's only one way to go. Over here, there's a lot of ways to go. Both roads, I messed up every turn.
But a lot of fun though.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. It's like you're trying to beat a timer that's in your head because you're just trying to figure out which direction to go as soon as you can and take a quick decision.
Of course. Well, look, congratulations on making top 16. We'll see you tonight. Who else have we got? We got the DX Academy passenger ride car. If you want to take a spin in this, you're more than welcome to head on out to the DX Academy, jump in this car. How are you feeling? You look very hot and sweaty.
Yeah, it is. It is. Now it's getting hot in the UAE.
How's the track? How are you finding the YUKA Gymkhana challenge?
It's very good. You have to have a very good memory and very good coordination. So you are more focused and not to miss rather than driving. But it's fun. It's fun. I like it. It's different.
Is this your first time doing Gymkhana?
It's my first time ever. I mean, I did it in simulator, but on real life, it's first time.
Well, congratulations on making it into top 16. Yeah, and if you want to have a go, you can go on over to the simulators and have a go yourself. We're going to walk along, see who else we can catch up with. I can see two guys I know very, very well over here. One of them's walking off. Samir, very good driving. In the E36, I spoke about you earlier on. I said that you're very fast. You look very good out there.
We'll see. But look, it's the missile car. I think it is fast. I have a good, probably, power to grip ratio in this. But the whole thing is, I mean, it's nice, it's fun. It messes with your head. You don't know, you want to go faster, you want to go slower, you want to drift, you want to go straight. It's very confusing, but it's nice. It's fun, it's different. Very nice at this point of the season as well.
Very good to have you out here, Samir, and we'll see you later on in competition. Let's see if we can catch some more drivers as we walk along. This young man, been an absolute superstar. George, wow, you've been flying today. Some incredible driving. I think you're the youngest driver on our YUKA Gymkhana Challenge grid tonight. How do you feel?
It's a nice feeling. I'm happy to be here, and it's my first Gymkhana tournament, and it's really nice, to be honest. I'm enjoying it a lot.
Yeah, you look really good out there. Congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you later on. Right, let's see if we can catch anyone else as we walk up and down. In a few moments' time, ladies and gentlemen, we will be allowing you to come onto the circuit to take a look around these cars, look at our circuit, meet the drivers, shake their hands. Some of them are very hot and sweaty, but they are all welcoming, I promise, and they'll be more than happy to talk about the machinery tonight. I'm going to chat to this man over here because he has probably one of the most extreme cars on the grid. Look at this full carbon fiber Nissan 400Z. Ladies and gentlemen, Damir, you were absolutely smoking the place out, but you were very fast. How do you feel?
Oh, sorry, no understand.
You look very fast. Does it feel fast?
I am fast?
Yes, very.
Horsepower 300, 800. Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't matter. So if you're big power or small power, it's the same. Well, there we go. It just goes to show that it doesn't matter about power all the time. I'm going to have a chat with this young lady. One more interview. Can I quickly grab you?
Oh my God.
You were looking good out there. The last run I see in qualifying, though, there were some mistakes. Did it feel bad inside the car?
Just a second.
Что он сказал? Он сказал, последний раз там была ошибка. Ты расстроилась, что так получилось?
No. No, it's okay. It just drift. It's practice.
Well, thank you very much, Lyubov. Right, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to make your way onto the circuit right now, down the end, we welcome you all onto the track to come and meet our drivers, take a look around the cars, and we'll see you very soon. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's just the right side of that tower. You'll be able to see everyone making their way through. So as you come down, right side of the tower, come through and you can enter the circuit. Thank you. Right, I have caught up with Adam Dabas. Adam, you were looking good out there in that Nissan 370Z. You said you're really enjoying the YUKA Gymkhana challenge.
I mean, yeah, it's my first time ever doing it, and I love it so far. I like the technicality of it. I like the fact that you're next to each other and you're racing. You know, I feel like I'm in Fast and Furious. It's amazing.
Fast and Furious. I mean, not only are you racing a competitor, you're also racing against the clock. So you must have that in your mind as well.
I mean, yeah, you always have that in your mind, you know, thinking. You always have that in your mind thinking that, like, oh, I'm racing against the clock, I need to go faster, I need to do this. But just keeping calm, making sure you're okay, doing what you need to do, it works. Like, just trying to calm down as much as you can, be mentally prepared, not only physically, and having a good time. That's all that matters. I came here not trying to win anything, just for fun.
But now you're trying to win.
I mean, let's see what happens, happens. I mean, if I win, I win.
I want to know something. If you hit one of the obstacles, in your mind, do you feel, no, I've made a massive mistake? Or do you just forget about it and carry on?
Just forget about it and carry on. There's nothing you can do. I mean, if you keep thinking about it in your head, you're like, oh, I messed up, oh, I did this, you're going to mess up again. The more you just calm down, think whatever happened, happened, and continue, you're going to do better.
Well, there we go. Congratulations, Adam. We'll see you tonight in our top 16. Ilya, you look very good out there. Very controlled, but I did see you remove the rear bumper earlier on.
Sometimes it's happened. It's so close, really.
Tough competition. A lot of guys driving really hard. Tell me about your mindset when you're on the line. What are you thinking about?
You mean about competition, right? Yeah. It's nice. It's tricky. Something new, like fresh way for our drift community. It's cool.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's good to see you here. Congratulations. Well, I'm going to hunt for more drivers that might not want to talk to me, like this young man. How are you doing?
Я из Беларуси, from Беларусь. Меня зовут Шиндиков Алексей, мы приехали сюда побеждать.
Well done. Congratulations, good driving. So a lot of guys out here getting photos. I'm going to try and chat to some of the other guys out and about. I'm standing right next to the DX Drift Academy taxi. Don't forget, if you want to get a passenger ride, head on over to the DX Drift guys. Hey, he's there. There he is. You were behind me. Are you doing the passenger rides?
We are. We got a club of drifters. They will be giving a thrilling passenger experience. We got 4 cars to welcome all the guests today.
And are you giving them the full experience? Full speed, no messing around?
Absolutely, absolutely. You're going to see that. So those who have already registered, they're going to see some action happening now.
Well, if you guys want to get a passenger ride in one of these cars with one of these drivers, make sure you head on over to DX Drift and get yourself one of our G-Taxi passenger rides. Thank you very much. So a lot of our drivers are hiding. They don't want to talk to us. Some are standing tall, posing in front of their cars. We're going to get a quick word. How are you? Very good. I love the car. I love the colour.
Yes.
Today was good for you? Good qualifying?
It's my first practice.
First time in Gymkhana. And how did you find it?
Gymkhana, first race, first all.
Oh, wow. So this is all new. And you made it into the top 16, the big show as well. You feeling happy?
Yes, I'm feeling, no good I'm feeling. Because I'm here 3 days.
Wow, okay. So a little nervous. It's all good. Well, congratulations. Really good to see you out there. Let's see who else we can find. Right, I want to talk to you. He laughs. Because you're driving one of the most difficult cars.
No, I'm not driving this one. I'm driving this.
Driving this one. Oh, right, okay, sorry. Who's driving the Mustang? Oh, we need to talk to you. I need to talk to a Mustang driver. You're leaning on it, so I thought you owned it. Right, I want to talk to you. The Mustang, not an easy car. One of the biggest cars on the grid. When you get into those really confined obstacles, how does it feel?
It feels difficult. I don't know what I'm doing, me too, so I'm trying to handle what I can, honestly.
It looks difficult because obviously it's a big car, and do you feel it's hard to rotate?
Yes, of course it's loud, but now is 5 years I'm driving this Mustang and one other, so now I know the...
So you're saying it's easy?
For me, it's okay, it's okay.
Well, we'll see you later on in top 16. Thanks for chatting to us. Thank you so much. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, some of our guys will be getting their cars prepared, and we won't be much longer, and we'll be kicking off our top 16. Don't forget, check out the grid while you're here on circuit with all of our drivers. You can take a look around at all the obstacles. Some of them is battered and bruised already where they've been made contact with these cars. But you can now see how tight and technical this track is when you're out here on circuit. You can see that those obstacles easily moved. As we see Adam DeBas take his car off the track, back towards the paddock. Right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for our track walk. We hope you've enjoyed meeting our drivers, but we would like to invite all of you spectators back on to the other side of the track. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I say, we'd like to invite you all back into the grandstands to view the rest of the competition this evening. We won't be long and we'll be kicking off our top 16 here at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge 2026. And as our drivers now prepare their cars, take them back to the paddock, fresh fuel, fresh tyres and a fresh mindset, ready to take on this incredible challenge. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are on the track, we would like you to please now exit the circuit, back onto the other side, as our drivers make their way back to the paddock. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I like to repeat myself, please make your way off of the circuit, back towards the grandstands, and let our drivers get themselves back to the paddock, fresh tyres, and ready for competition. So, ladies and gentlemen, we please invite you to return back to the grandstands. If you could now all please leave the circuit, head down to where you joined the track. We can get our circuit ready for the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge 2026 and get our drivers prepared, ready for competition. Right, that is it. Ladies and gentlemen, would you like to now please all exit the circuit, make your way back to the grandstands. And in just a few moments' time, we'll be kicking off our top 16 here at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge 2026.
Starts in 5 minutes. Now is the perfect moment to take place in the spectators zone and get closer to the track.
iCore, advanced information management delivered with precision. From design and integration to complete project execution, we handle it all. Expert consulting and 24/7 support keep your IT operations running reliably. Trusted in finance, government, industry, and beyond. iCore, your IT infrastructure partner. Fortis delivers advanced cybersecurity and information infrastructure solutions. Our technology portfolio and IT expertise help businesses overcome digitalization and cyber defense challenges with confidence. Fortis, the best technologies to grow your business.
Light stepping when I'm walking like I'm Billie Jean. Red jacket, it's a thriller when I'm on the scene. Paddock on my wrist, now I'm ahead of things. Ain't no time to slow it down, I'm on the better things. Bust it down, that's a watch, huh? Not a sound, you a knob, huh? When I touch down, it's a problem. And you know it's do or die, it ain't an option. Ay, 6 chains like I'm Kumo. I'm a heavyweight, got my pockets on sumo. Kick game, judo, 6 rings, you know. Ain't a thing you know I'm heating up, 1 too cold. Face it, face it, face it,
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge 2026 here at the VDA. As you can see on screen, this is a virtual representation of what our drivers have got to do. Well, this is a mirrored circuit. Tight technical precision and technical driving is what we're looking for. And this is what we're not looking for. If a driver hits, knocks or moves one of the elements, that could result in a 2-second time penalty to their overall time. As you can see, they're getting into that zone now. That is the confined object. They have to navigate around that nicely without touching it. Now, if they do touch it, again, it will be 2 seconds added to their overall time, and the overall time will be both halves of our mirrored circuit. So as the car makes its way around the circuit and with the driver, they have to get this perfectly correct, following the line set out by our technical advisors here at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. And this is the pinata. When they hit the pinata, they don't knock any time off of, or they don't add any time to their overall time, but if they miss it, they add 3 seconds. Very critical for these drivers to not make any mistakes. They have to get it absolutely perfect every single turn and every single part of the circuit. They fire into this, which looks very easy, but it isn't. It's a very tight turning double radius corner. Miss this and you could have added 10 seconds or 20 seconds to your overall time in that drift zone. They fire across the circuit once again and then back across to the final turn where they need to navigate all the way around, and then it's keeping it clean. Do not cross that center line because that will be a DNF. Fire into the final part of the track and then back across once again to finish off the run. Now look, these guys have to do this as quickly as possible. There's a braking zone as well at the very end of the track, 14 meters. They can't go past that. They have to stop within it. That is where our start line is. It seems very easy, but the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge is anything but. Precise driving, technical driving, speed matters, but being even more controlled does. Hit any of our obstacles on circuit, miss any of your obstacles, then you are going to lose time. Well, my name is Ian Waddington, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll be talking you and walking you all the way through the action tonight as we kick off our top 16 here at the VDA in Marina. And I'm excited to get this underway. I love Gymkhana and I love the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge, that's for sure, because tonight in qualifying has been nothing short of spectacular. Drivers who had it bag earlier on in practice tonight felt the pressure of qualifying, and 29 drivers, well, they got whittled down to just 16 for that top 16 competition. They are now going to go head to head to find out who has the quickest time to head into the top 8 part of the competition. And after that, we'll have a short break, and then we're going to move through and through and through until we can find a winner of the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge 2026. And there we are. That is our custom-built circuit here at the VDA at Marina. Mirrored circuit. So these guys have to do 2 runs, one on one side of the track, then swap over and do one on the opposite side. A lot of these drivers saying that it's easy to navigate around one half of the circuit because that naturally just will appeal to a lot of drivers. But some drivers saying that when they swap over, they can't navigate around. They said it's playing with their brain. A lot of drivers saying that the mental side of the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge is more challenging itself than the track. But this track is far from easy, let me tell you that. As we see, one of those elements on our circuit move could result in time penalties. And as I explained a moment ago, both parts of the circuit, those times are added together, then any time penalties are also added on top. So it all comes down to a very critical part of the track. Get it wrong, you could be adding seconds to your time. Get it right, you could be the fastest person on the circuit tonight and get yourself a trophy on the top step of the podium. Well, it seems very easy. We're going to head down in a few moments' time to our start line to see who our first drivers of the evening will be in the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge here at the VDA 2026. Competition is going to be heating up. Practice and qualifying was hot enough, but now is when the battles really take on. These guys have to lay it down this evening here at the VDA Marina. Well, if you are in attendance, don't forget to go over and check out our
iCore, advanced information management delivered with precision. From design and integration to complete project execution, we handle it all. Expert consulting and 24/7 support keep your IT operations running reliably. Trusted in finance, government, industry, and beyond. iCore, your IT infrastructure partner. Fortis delivers advanced cybersecurity and information infrastructure solutions. Our technology portfolio and IT expertise help businesses overcome digitalization and cyber defense challenges with confidence. Fortis, the best technologies to grow your business.
Light stepping when I'm walking like I'm Billie Jean. Red jacket, it's a thriller when I'm on the scene. Paddock on my wrist, now I'm ahead of things. Ain't no time to slow it down, I'm on the better things. Bust it down, that's a watch, huh? Not a sound, you a knob, huh? When I touch down, it's a problem. And you know it's do or die, it ain't an option. Ay, 6 chains like I'm Kumo. I'm a heavyweight, got my pockets on sumo. Kick game, judo, 6 rings, you know. Anything you know, I'm heating up, want to call. Face it, face it, face it,
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have our cars down there on the back end of the grid. And as you see, as we work our way through our competition, you'll see those drivers' names pop up on the screen for you guys here in attendance. You can watch on the big screens. For you guys watching at home on YouTube on YUKA Gymkhana Challenge, you can follow all the action along as it happens here tonight. And now you can see all of what I was talking about earlier. If you were here in attendance, we're down on the back end of the grid in our staging area. So those guys will be called forward by our start line marshal, and then you'll see those traffic lights will indicate to the drivers when they need to go. And you can see the first pair on the line. The top 16 kicks off right here of the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge 2026 at the VDA Marina circuit, Abu Dhabi. They get the thumbs up on both sides. This is how our top 16 is looking at the moment. Some very good battles coming up tonight. Our second battle, Danny Nikolewski to take on Nasser Al-Habali, will be a very good one. Same with Samir Sabat, a man that I spoke about earlier, saying he is absolutely flying. I spoke to him in the interview as well in the pre-show with our top 16 parade. He said the car feels good. He said he's changed it. He's made some adjustments. He's dialed in a lot of grip. He said that he needs to be fast. So we have a car reversing off the line. We have Lubov on the line in that red Nissan 370Z. She's ready to do battle. And this, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, is not only a battle between two drivers. This is a battle against the clock. Every second matters. Precision driving on a technical course. Two mirrored halves of the track. Every mistake they make costs them time. They can miss an element of our circuit. They can get it wrong. They can reverse up and go again. But don't forget, the clock is ticking. And the more the clock ticks, the less chance you have of advancing on in competition. Speed matters, but control and precision driving is what we're looking for tonight here at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge 2026. If you're in attendance and you want to check out what we've got going on, we have a whole festival village down there for you guys to enjoy. You can go and check out the karting from No Grip DBXB. Go down there and have a go on those drift carts. They are a lot of fun. We've also got our partners Rent-A-Go down there. You can go and check those guys out. And as I mentioned in the pre-show, if you guys want to see what it's like to be in the passenger seat of one of these cars where you can take a spin in the passenger side of a Nissan around this tight, technical, very precise circuit with the G taxis, you can head down to the DX Drift Academy in the paddock, grab yourself a ride along and go out and experience it. And don't forget to follow along on our Instagram page, that is yukagymkhana.ae, for the opportunity to win some free training programs. You yourself could be a driver out there on this circuit in the future. We also have our car exhibition down there. I'm proudly supported by Sony. A lot of very cool show cars. I see them turning up earlier on. I didn't get the opportunity to go and check them out myself, but I will do before the end of the night. We invite you down as well to the podium tonight where we celebrate our top 4 winning drivers and our highest qualifier. We'll check out our car exhibition there. We'd also like to thank our all-time partners, Fortis and iCar, leaders in cybersecurity and information technology, supporting tonight's event. So one driver off of the line, and we are waiting to find out what is happening with that driver. As you can see, Lubov down there on the line in that red Nissan 370Z. She said it didn't feel too good earlier when she was in the car, but it's feeling good right now. Managed to qualify in that Nissan 370Z. And she sits on the line ready to do action, not staged yet, as you can see, those staging beams. And that part of the circuit I was talking about earlier on, for you guys only joining us now on YouTube, those guys, when they come back down the circuit, it is a drag race from that top corner all the way down through underneath those screens. And they have to stop that car within 14 meters. They can't cross that white line. If they do, they have to back up. But don't forget, every second counts here at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. You have to be precise, you have to be perfect. Every single mistake costs you time. So Lubov down there waiting to do battle, and we can see everybody set and ready to go. Our cameramen down there. Our start line marshal has been out there all day today, bearing the heat from Abu Dhabi, one of the hottest days of the year so far here in Abu Dhabi. Our drivers put under the pressure. And I spoke to some of those drivers in our top 16 parade, and I said, you look a little hot and sweaty. And they said, well, I am, because not only is it hot in the car, the temperature is through the roof, because you're trying to remember that bespoke layout at that very critical line that our team wanted our drivers to follow. So here we go. We have Demir Idiatulin pulling up to the line in this Nissan 400Z, full carbon fiber car, incredible. And I spoke to Demir in the drivers' parade, in that top 16 parade, and he said to me, he said, this is a form of motorsport. This discipline is very different, where power doesn't matter. If you have 400 horsepower, if you have 300 horsepower, it's a level playing field, because with big power, you can make a mistake or you can spin the wheels too much, and that's not what we're looking for. Here we go. They are staged and off the line, ready to go and rip through the gears. Luov gets a nice start, but Demir Diatulin using all that power to get himself into that first turn. fires the car around. Lubov doing a good job so far. Now down and around into the first obstacle. Around this once and then head into the treacherous, very, very tight, confined obstacle. And you'll see it inside these plastic and barriers. They hit those barriers, there'll be time added onto their score. Idiotulin fires round, hits the pinata with precision, fires it up in the air. Now it's time for Lubov. She gets it as well. 3 seconds if you don't get it. And it looks like Idiotulin has this one very tight. Now into a very hard part of the circuit. Fires around. This one tightens increasingly into the second obstacle in the middle. Idiotulin, 2 more obstacles to go. 1 more turn as he fires through. This is run 1 of our top 16 and things are already heating up. It looks like we're almost side by side as Lubov caught up with Idiotulin as Idiotulin puts the car where it needs to be, but now he pulls away, he gets around that obstacle quicker than Lubov. He fires in to that final turn. It's a drag race to the start line as he hammers on the brakes. Lubov into that final turn. She's behind by a few seconds. Hammers on the throttle, stares down that long drag to the start line and breaks that car within those barriers. And it's job done for both our drivers on run 1 of our top 16. So drivers now swap around and now have to drive on opposite sides of the track. So this is where it gets technical for a lot of these drivers because they may have memorized one half of the circuit easier than the other half of the circuit. They have to now swap over. So Lubov pulls in to her side of the track. The mirrored track now plays its toll. We'll see how these drivers can fare when they swap over. They've been doing it in practice. But what can they do right now where it really counts? A spot in the Great 8 awaits for one of these drivers. And off the line, and you can hear Damir Idiotulin pedaling that car, trying to get it up and off the line, slides into that first turn. You can see Lubov making a nice turn around, but doesn't spin the wheels too hard. Looks down, fires that car into the first obstacle. Both guys round that first obstacle, then into that tight, confined obstacle in the middle of the circuit. Look at this, Lubov taking an easy entrance round, doesn't want to hit anything, doesn't want to add any time. As Idiotulin hits the pinata, hanging from the machine down the back end of the paddock, so does Lubov. Both very clean runs so far, no mistakes. And Lubov doing a very good job there in that confined obstacle. Back into it once again, now across, has to navigate her way around this very technical, tight obstacle. You can see she goes round and then has to go around again, but it gets tighter. It's very difficult to navigate around. Idiotulin looks like he has 1 more obstacle to go before he looks for that final turn and that long drag down towards the start line. Lubov looking to get herself back up into this one as Idiotulin already starts to make the drag down towards the start line. Anti-lag firing as Idiotulin gets the job done and into the braking zone. Lubov doing everything she can as she fires through, but will it be Idiotulin or did he hit some obstacles? So both guys are given the signal to leave the line. And they will head back to the paddock and we will give you all of the updates as they come through the whole way through the competition as the next 2 drivers will make their way on to track. So our track staff will be out there now just resetting the track, making sure that every single one of our obstacles is in its perfect position. And you can see a lot of our obstacles marked. So the track staff down there know exactly where they go because we make this track consistent. So we need it exactly the same for every single one of our drivers on both sides, on both runs. So there's a very tough job down there for our track staff if any of those obstacles are hit. And those guys look like they've done their job and now will remove themselves from the circuit. And the next two drivers will make their way towards the start line to the staging area to get ready for the next battle of our top 16. And there I am, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I hope you're enjoying yourselves. The YUKA Gymkhana Challenge 2026 here at the VDA Yas Marina circuit. None other than it, the most iconic circuit in the world. And we're here in Abu Dhabi today. As I mentioned earlier, it has been incredible. So hot and hot for our drivers. But I can hear cars down the back of the grid. And here we go. We're going to get those drivers pulled up to the start line, ready to do battle. As they pull in, it can be car 14, Daniel Nikolevsky, and Nasser Al-Harbali in that black 370Z. The choice of car, which seems to be perfect at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. Both those guys on the line ready to go. A Nissan 370 or 350Z seems to be the car to go to. A lot of these guys saying it's nimble, it's quick, it has plenty of power, it's rear-wheel drive, so it's what I need to get around nice and easy. As you can see, those guys using the handbrake to rotate the car around our obstacles. They get the green light, it's go. And Danny Nikolevsky leaves the line, absolutely flying. Nasser Al-Harbali puts himself into that first long corner, out of it nice and cleanly. They both fire down. It's head-to-head right now as Nasser Al-Harbali seems to have caught up very well. Both around that first obstacle clean. Now they go into the confined one. Look at this. You can see the way they're using those handbrakes to slow those cars down and turn the cars around those barrels and those obstacles. As Danny and Nasser Al-Harbali both pick up the pinata. It looks like, to me, Danny may be slightly ahead as both of them enter that obstacle at the same time now into this difficult turn. Around they go. This is the drift zone. They have to drift. They go around that barrel. Now 2 more obstacles left to go for both the drivers. Oh, it's head-to-head right now. Danny Nikolevsky and Nasser Al-Harbali are absolutely splitting hairs. There's seconds between, not even seconds between these two guys, as they fire into the last barrel, and it looks like it will be a drag race to the start line for both the drivers. Oh, and it looks like Danny Nikolevsky has got the pull on him, slows that car down and gets it into the braking zone. Well, there we go. We're getting those guys turned around. They have 2 minutes now to turn those cars around and get themselves back to the line. And as we can see, Nasser Al-Harbali ready to go. And Danny Nikolevsky now pulls up to the line, and they have to now complete the same course but in mirror image, which is what a lot of our drivers said was the most difficult part of the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. Well, here we go. The revs start to build. Nikolevsky, car number 14, off the line. Looks like Nasser Al-Harbali got the drag race this time as they both enter that first turn head-to-head. Around they go, looking for that first big obstacle on circuit. Oh, and this is clean by both the drivers. This is really going to be a head-to-head race between 2 incredible drivers. A Nissan 350Z versus a Nissan 370Z. So around this obstacle twice before they take on the pinata, and it looks to me like Nasser Al-Harbali has got the run on Danny Nikolevsky as he gets himself back into that confined obstacle. And yeah, 110%. Nasser Al-Harbali is now starting to pull away, starting to get the job done a little quicker. 2 more obstacles to go for Nasser Al-Harbali as he fires it across the track around this obstacle once. And looks for the last one as Nasser Al-Harbali, 1 turn of this obstacle, and then he's off, flying for that final turn. Can he keep it clean? As Nasser Al-Harbali already making his way down the straight towards the start line. And look at that, Nasser Al-Harbali put on an absolute masterclass, but was it as clean as I thought it was? Wow, there we go. What a way to turn it around. And you can see how quickly it can turn around. It looked like Danny was going to be the driver to take down Nasser Al-Habali, but Danny losing some time on the second half. And it just goes to show you, you mirror this track and make those drivers do both halves of it. And it isn't as easy as it seems. As we go back to the line, it will be Anthony Habib in this Infiniti G37. So we await Anthony Habib's challenger to pull to the line, although the clock is the challenge here at the YUKA Gymkhana challenge. So while we wait for that car to pull to the line, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you are in attendance, you can go over and see the guys from No Grip DXB. Those drift carts are here in attendance. You can get a go in them yourself. Activations from our partners as well from Renco. We've got G taxis here as well. Make sure that you go over and see the guys at the DX Drift Academy. You can get yourself a passenger ride between the break of top 16 and top 8. Well, here we go. Sergi Wakov sits on the line in that Mustang. I spoke to a Mustang owner earlier and they said it isn't that hard to drive if you know the car. But these two cars are equally as big as each other. An Infiniti G37 sits on the line. This one's going to be interesting to see exactly how these two cars fare. They do get the thumbs up from our start line marshal. They are staged. We wait for the green light. And they are off, ready to go. Oh, look at this. It's a head-to-head drag race all the way down to that first corner. And it looks like Anthony Habib just gets ahead a little bit there in that first long turn. Now looks down for that first object, and he certainly did. As Bykov now looks to rotate that Mustang around that obstacle, and Anthony Habib already in the confined one, trying to get the job done. They are allowed to put a wheel up on that barrel, but they can't move it. As he gets the pinata job done, and so does Bykov, gets that pinata knocked up into the air, back into the and now Anthony Habib looking good, fires that car around, puts it into that second very, very tight turn. 2 obstacles to go for Anthony Habib. He looks like he's flying on this one, looks like he has the upper hand, but any wrong move could be seconds on his time. Gets the car across the circuit, dips it down on the foot brake, rotates it around, looking for the run out on that long last corner. And it's a drag race down to the braking zone. As he fires it through, gets that car stopped perfectly in the braking zone, and the Mustang gets there, but will he stop it in time? He does. So these guys now swap around, and now the opportunity to see who prefers what half of the circuit. Did Anthony Habib get it easy? Did he get the side of the track that he likes? Well, there isn't a side that anybody likes, because every driver has to perform a run on both sides of this mirror track here at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. And they will now swap over and get the job done on the other side. So those guys get 2 minutes to get back to the start line, to stage and leave the line ready to go. Well, here we go. They are on the line. Anthony Habib pulls up. That car ready to go, and it looks like Bykov's Mustang just needs a little bit more cooling down before he pulls the line. This car's going through extreme temperatures. As I said, one of the hottest days so far of the year here in Abu Dhabi today. And you can tell it's had its toll on not only the drivers, but the cars themselves. Well, here we go, both guys on the line. Anthony Habib, Sergei Bykov in that Ford Mustang. Lebanon versus Ukraine. And here we go, ready to go. Anthony Habib, though, smokes the tyres. Been trying to put some grip down to the tarmac, and he does as he now gets into that first long corner. Both guys make it round real nice. And could this be the opportunity to Bykov to get some some time. Oh, but he hits the barrel, moves it ever so slightly, and that will be time added to his overall time of both these runs. Gets himself into the confined obstacle now. Anthony Habib doing a good job. Baikov around and out. Oh, they're both out almost at the same time, but Anthony Habib seems to be very controlled. Both the pinatas taken. No point, no time lost there as they get in and out of the controlled. And there we go, into this very tight technical part now. Around they go, and then into the second obstacle, but they have to go tighter again. And Anthony Habib looks like he may have the upper hand on this, but only by a few seconds. Anthony Habib doing an incredible job. Final obstacle coming up for this young man as he gets it in and around. Looks for that final corner, but Baikov's right there with him. Looks for the drag race. Could this be a head-to-head drag race down, or is Anthony Habib ahead? He certainly is, by half of the track into the braking zone, and it's job done for Anthony Habib. Well, there we go, both guys make their way off the circuit, and we're going to keep the action flowing here at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge 2026 here in the VDA at Yas Marina. 2 more drivers are called to the line. As you can see, I am very comfortable. I hope you are if you're watching along at home on YouTube, and I hope if you're here in attendance, you've been checking out our festival village. We're going to turn the heat up there as well after our top 16, where we'll be doing some passenger rides, and you guys will be able to check out everything we have in attendance, including our car exhibition supported by our partner Sony. We go back onto the line and we can see Samir Sabet. Oh, here we go. Both guys pull to the line. Anthony, oh no, wrong graphic, sorry. Apologies for that. It is the wrong graphic we have on the screen there. So, Samir. And off the line, both these guys fly in. Oh, and it looks like car number 71. A little wobble and a little waver there. Or is that car number 84? Yeah, Michael Hazin from Jordan in at the S13. As Samir Sabet hits the pinata. We're back into the action. Michael Hazin gets himself up. As I said, wheels up on those obstacles is allowed, but moving them will be points. And look at that, very tight in there. Almost took them cones down. Did Michael Hazin. It fires round. Samir Sabet absolutely ripping those. Looks for the last 2 obstacles before he fires through that final long outside pull. All the way down to the start line in that braking zone, and look at this from Samir. The car is absolutely perfectly tuned in to YUKA Gymkhana. As Michael Hazin makes his way down, Samir just ahead of him by a couple of seconds. Right, there we go, cars pulling back up to the line. Don't forget that 2 minute they're allowed to call the cars. You can see down there, Samir calling that car down as Hazin pulls to the line in this Nissan Silvia S13. You can hear that V8 roar on the start line. He's ready to stage. As Samir just takes his time. Samir will wait to take that car to perfect temperature. before he pulls towards the start line to the staging area. Hazim just gets himself perfectly lined up. And there we go, our start line marshal requesting Samir to pull to the line. Well, let's see how he does in the opposite side of the track. He was looking confident earlier in our qualifying session. Both guys on the line stage. Do we wait for that green light? Let's Samir Sabet take on Michael Hazin. Anti-lag firing from both of the cars. Oh, and his tyres spun from Hazin, and he's lost some ground, but now starts to gain it back once again. Puts the power to the tarmac here in the VDA and fires around that first long turn. But Samir doing a very, very good job. Gets into that obstacle first, gets that car rotated, now looks for the confined one. This is difficult. You can't hit one of those barriers. You have to keep it clean. Try not to move the obstacle in the middle. And Hazin does a very clean job, 2 rotations, but Samir is just ahead. Back into the confined obstacle again. Samir looks like he's ever so slightly ahead. This could have been a heads up, but Samir gets away with it now into this part. Around they go. Tightens up once again into the obstacle. Keeps it clean, no cones knocked down. Fires around, last 2 obstacles coming up for both of the drivers. It's almost head to head. Smoke erupts, flames erupt from the side of the S13 as he fires into the final obstacle. Samir looks for that run. Oh, and it's a mistake. Hazin makes a mistake and has to get that car back into gear. It's a drag race down, but this one looks like it's all in the hands of Samir Sameh. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. What an incredible head-to-head battle. It was one small mistake there from Michael Hazin, and you can see what it meant. It meant this car stalled up, and he lost so much time on that drag race down towards our braking zone at the back end of the circuit. And that could be in or losing on this incredible circuit here, designed by YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. We said it's all about precise driving. It's all about keeping you cool, though, at the moment. I think as things start to heat up here at the VDA, we go back on the line to the next 2 drivers. We have Renat in that G37 Infinity. And I can't quite catch the number of that 350Z. So it looks like both cars staged. You can see those lights up there. We wait for them to go green. Both guys will leave the line. There we go. Good start from the 350Z. And a good drag race down. Car number 45. No, sorry, car number 43, Alexi in that 350Z. As Renat now gets that wheel up on to that confined obstacle. Alexi makes his way out, gets that pinata now, trying to find out. And it is Alexi that is ahead in that 350Z, makes his way back around that confined obstacle inside those barriers. Fires down, gets himself into this part. Spirals around and around, but gets tight. Oh, and it's very close there from Renat. Almost takes cones down. That big Infiniti G37 almost took cones down, but he nevertheless gets through it cleanly. Fires into the second to last obstacle on the circuit. Balances that car around. 1 obstacle to go. As Alexi makes his way around the barrels, looks down the drag race, and this could be his half of the run done. As Renat fires it in at big aggression. Oh, and he is into that braking zone already. Wow, big advantage there for Alexi. Well, those guys now are going to swap those cars around, and I've got a feeling that Alexei was maybe on his favourite half of the circuit, because as you can see, he was absolutely flying. Now, will he do the same on the second half, on that mirror image? Or will his confidence fall away ever so slightly? Renat now gets the opportunity to drive on the other side. He pulls up to the start line, into that staging area. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you're here in attendance, after our top 16, we will be having a festival in the middle of our circuit where all of our show cars are in our car exhibition supported by Sony. You can check out all of our activations from our partners Rentico, as well as check out our karting with No Grip DXB, even the Sims. Apparently you can go over there, jump on the sim and see what it's like to try and pull down a good time here around this track. Don't forget, if you haven't already, head on over to Instagram, follow YUKA and you can follow us along all the way throughout tonight's competition and into our future events here in the UAE and around the world. Well, we go back on the line we go. It's Renat now maybe on his favourite side. Light goes green, both cars come off the line, but look at this from Alexei as he fires through. Gets that car into that first long turn, stands on the accelerator, keeps it clean. Look how close he is to the barrel, so almost takes him down. There was flirting with danger from Alexei. He knows maybe he's got a bit of an advantage here. Renat into that first obstacle, but it looks to me like Alexei is absolutely flying into the confined obstacle now. Twice around this one before heading to the pinata, or hanging off the back of that machine. Renat misses a gear coming out of that confined obstacle. Has to slow the car down, now goes back into it once again. It's once around the barrel inside the confined obstacle. And now into this tight portion of the circuit where it's very easy to knock down not only a cone on the inside, but a barrel on the outside. He gets into it though cleanly, it does Alexei as he fires that car across that Anarchy Nissan 350Z. That green and chrome livery up the side of it. Renat's beautiful Infiniti G37 navigating his way around the final obstacles, but it looks like this one could be Alexei's in the bag as he fires through the final turn and a drag race down. He's already making his way towards the start line, and this one looks like Alexei has what it takes. You can see there Renat just about stopping in that white line between those two barrels for you guys watching on the big screens here in attendance, or if you're watching along at home on YouTube. That is where they have to stop that car, and if they don't, then they have to back the car up. But they will have added time to their overall evaluated time, which is both half of the runs plus any problems or any barrels they hit or any of the obstacles. So it is very tight. Every second counts here at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. As we say, precise driving on a technical course. Every mistake costs time, but speed matters, but control is where it's at. We go back on the line again to two more drivers ready to head off in our top 16. And we talked about Ford Mustangs. Well, we have one right there now on the track. It's going to be Lucas Garrett from France to take on David Viota from Spain. I've mentioned both of these guys earlier on, and now they're on the circuit side by side. Here we go, green light go, and it's a drag race to that first long turn. Looks like Lucas Garrett has the grip and the power to power away down the drag race, but can he get that car around and navigate it? He certainly can. Oh, but now, look at this from David in that Nissan, manages to catch back up again. That 370Z, very nimble. And I spoke about it earlier on, being the choice of car here at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. And what can David do? They both exit at the same time. It's into the pinata. Lucas Garrett picks it up. So does David. Back into the confined obstacle once again. David Viota doing a good job in that 370Z. And Lucas Garrett now has to try and navigate that Mustang through those obstacles without taking any of them down. Looks like a clean job so far. Now this is head-to-head on circuit. Lucas Garrett maybe just one turn ahead on that barrel. One last obstacle to go before it's a drag race down to the braking zone. Dabs the foot brake, gets that car rotated around. As Lucas Garrett looks like he's got this one ahead of David Viotta as they fire through down into the braking zone and stop those cars before that line. Oh, Viotta almost goes past.
Concrete jungle, not afraid. Shadows dance with a twitch. Who will scratch that?
So both guys are making some very clean passes of the circuit. This is coming down to pure seconds between these drivers. Not many drivers making big mistakes, and we expected that. Watching our qualification earlier on and our practice earlier on today as well, both guys, or all the drivers, sorry, were driving very, very hard, pushing to the limit, and all these drivers got this track dialed in so quick. The precise driving in our pro drivers came out very, very quickly, and you can see the way they were navigating around this track. I think the hardest part is remembering where you are on circuit. I think it's easy for me to say sitting here because I've been watching it all day. Same as probably some of you guys here in attendance. You've been watching these guys navigate. You could probably do it with your eyes closed, but it seems that easy. But when you've got someone breathing down your neck, another competitor alongside you, it isn't that easy. And there we go, Lucas Garrett in that Mustang. Looks like he's going to make his way to the staging area. Did some figure of eights. Now you would see or hear some of the drivers down the back end of the grid spinning the tyres on those cars, doing some figure of eights, and that is to get some heat into the tyres so that the front tyres are very grippy and the rear tyres are up to temperature, ready to take on this YUKA Gymkhana Challenge track. Here we go, both drivers called forward, they're giving the thumbs up. They stage, we wait for the green light, and they're off, ready to go. Lucas Garrett, is he confident? Is he feeling good? Slows that car down massively, trying to get around that first turn. Now stands on the accelerator in that Ford Mustang, that V8 screaming as they fire through, looking to that first obstacle. And Lucas Garrett using the handbrake to revolve the car around as he now gets himself into that confined obstacle. And it looks like Lucas Garrett has got this car absolutely dialed in. He knows every single corner of the car, but he hasn't put a foot wrong so far in either side. Takes out the pinata, both sides of the circuit, back in to the confined obstacle. David Viotta, though, looking good in that 370Z. What can he do? Can he get a little bit ahead? He was behind by quite a lot in the first half of the battle of top 16. Round they go, one more turn for both these drivers. They're into it. Oh, and it is now head-to-head. They're both going to exit at the same time. Look at this. David has caught up with Lucas Garrett as Lucas Garrett puts the wheel on the edge of the obstacle, fires across, and it looks like this is going to be a drag race to the braking zone. There is nothing in it from either of these guys. They look for that final turn. Lucas Garrett stands on the accelerator, tries to drive away, and Lucas Garrett just has the heads up on David Viotta as they pull down and brake into the braking zone. Wow, what a head-to-head battle. And it just goes to show you that there is chances where you can catch up. Depends on how you turn those cars in those obstacles and where you position yourself on the circuit. Well, there we go. Those guys pull their cars off and head back to the paddock. And don't forget, we will be bringing you the top 16 later on. We head to the start line to our next two drivers. It's going to be Ali Shaswani from the UAE to take on Neel Mahdi from Lebanon, that BMW M1. Now, this is a man I spoke about a lot earlier on for you guys in attendance. If you guys watching along at home, this is going to be a brand new car to see. This BMW M1 M50 Turbo is an absolute machine, and he's been driving it with such precision, and I'm not talking about on just one side of the circuit. I know these guys are managing to really hold it down on both sides tonight. These are the best professional drivers from around the GCC and international drivers invited here to the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. But for me, Neel Mahdi has been absolutely on form. I will not be surprised if we see him on the podium tonight because he's been so incredible in that BMW 1. Well, here we go. Both guys stage their cars. They wait for that green light. It's BMW versus Toyota on the line. Anti-lag banging from the back of the cars as they both disappear off the line. Tyres smoke from both guys. Oh, and Neel Mahdi destroys the tyres. Oh, look at the brakes on that Toyota. Spark line from the front brakes on the Toyota of Ali Shazwani. So much speed, so much pain in the front of that car, heavy on the foot brake. Mirror image at the moment, no splitting them as they fire into the confined obstacle. And both of them making it around side by side. This is absolutely head-to-head from both of these drivers. Both the pinatas taken out, either side back into the confined obstacle once again. Around they go. Maddie and Shashwani leave it at the same time. This one technical. Oh, did Maddie just make a big dive in to the spiral, we like to call this one. It goes round and round again, and it gets tighter and tighter. Maddie looks like he could have this one in the bag, but now Shashwani has brought it back again. This is unbelievable. Real head-to-head driving here at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge 2026. One obstacle to go before they look for that final long corner. And Shashwani and Maddie are head-to-head. This is going to be a drag race to the braking zone. They come round that final corner side by side. Incredible stuff. Who will get it stopped? Oh, wow! Maddie overshoots the braking zone. Wow, incredible. Maddie overshoots the braking zone by a whole bunch. So our start line marshal down there talking to him. And I'm not sure if now Maddie knew what line it was, because he absolutely come flying up to that braking zone. That was super exciting stuff. Head-to-head action at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. Two guys that have got it perfect. You couldn't split them by a millimetre. Well, it's going to be seconds on the clock. Who made any mistakes? That's what I'm interested to find out. We're going to head back to the start line for the second half of this top 16 battle. This one's electric, and it's only our top 16 at the moment. Those guys getting those cars cooled down, and then they'll be back on the line, but flipped over. Mirror image this time. Let's see who has what it takes to compete the second half of the run in top 16. Well, here we go, track checked by our track marshals. Everything seems to be perfectly in place as it was. Those cars being cooled down. That was a hard battle between those two guys. There was no messing around. Now Maddie now pulls to the line into our staging area. As Ali Shazwani in that Toyota Altezza pulls up. They both give each other a little wave. Well, here we go. Our start line marshal gives them the thumbs up. They pull into the staging area. We wait for the light to go green, and there we go. They are off. Down the long pull into the first corner. Sheshwani seems to have got it dialed again. Look at that rotating the car on the foot brake. Wow, that was incredible. Sparks once again from the front of that Toyota Altezza. Now Maddie, though, will want to get this one job done, and it's head-to-head once again. There is absolutely no splitting these two guys. They're into the first obstacle side by side. Now Maddie now goes in to the confined obstacle. Oh, now Maddie makes a mistake. Doesn't get into the confined obstacle. Ali Shashwani now is ahead by a few seconds. Look at this, already takes out the pinata. As now Maddie makes a mistake. That is how easy it is. Oh, and he misses the pinata as well. Now Maddie starts to fall apart. Can't handle the pressure of Gymkhana here from YUKA. The challenge is on, that's for sure. Into the spiral goes Ali Shazwani. He might take this one through to the top 8. Looks for the final two obstacles as Ali Shazwani navigates that Toyota around the first one. Second one coming up, gets himself into it. Spins that car around, looks for the final turn. Back end of the circuit, and then looks for the drag race down, but I don't think there's going to be a drag race this time. Ali Shazwani fires through down to the braking zone. Now Maddie gets himself down that long straight, but I think this one is in the bag for Ali Shazwani. Well, that was incredible. Absolutely a brilliant battle there in our top 16 between those two guys. And it'll be a shame to see either of them knocked out, but that mistake from Noel Maddie Was it enough? Did he do enough? Or did he overshoot the braking zone as well? That is what it will all come down to. Seconds on the board as our start line marshal calls the next pair of drivers up to the line. So here we go. 2 cars pull to the line. And here we go. It is going to be Dimitri Aguida to take on Fahad Latif. And the calm drops over the VDA. Everybody goes silent for a moment as we prepare for another hot and heavy battle here at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge 2026. Our start line marshal gives them the thumbs up and says, look for the line. You can now stage those cars. These guys self-stage like a drag race. Once both those bulbs are illuminated at the top, we wait for it to go green, and we are good to go off the line. Fahad Latif looks like he's got this one ahead ever so slightly. We'll see how he is when we get into that first obstacle. Yeah, he's already around it. As Fahad now doing a really good job out front there, starting to pull a lead on Dimitri. Dimitri Guida gets himself into that confined obstacle, but look at this from Fahad. Fahad, oh, I don't know. Now, looks like Dimitri may have caught up with Fahad. Can Fahad get out of that confined obstacle quicker? He certainly can, but not by a lot, as Dimitri's already caught up with him. Both guys fire into the spiral. Round and round they go. They look for that second obstacle inside the spiral. Around and across the circuit. 2 obstacles to go before they look for that final long corner down to the drag race. And Fahad at the moment seems to be doing a sterling job out front. Turns that car around the final obstacle. Now heads for that long last corner. Dimitri gets himself into it and around. Is it going to be a drag race? No, Fahad is already way ahead. Wow, both guys managed to get the car stopped as well before the end of that braking zone. 14 metres of braking zone, ladies and gentlemen, before they have to get those cars stopped. And if they cross it, well, there is time added to their overall time. So Fahad down there just getting that car cooled down. These cars getting extremely hot, as I mentioned earlier. One of the hottest days so far in Abu Dhabi of 2026. And the cars and the drivers feeling the heat here in Yas Marina at the VDA. So those guys are going to head on over now back to the start line, swap it around the mirror image part of the circuit. Up and coming for these guys. Dimitri looked like he managed to catch up with that, but had to do a start. These guys struggling when they swap them over, but it looks to me like most of these drivers in our top 16 have got the track absolutely dialed. You can see the team down there just cooling down Dimitri's car, making sure it's ready to go. Fahad in that staging area. And our start line marshal will call Dimitri over within those 2 minutes to make sure that we get both these guys off the line, ready for action. The top 16 here at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge has been nothing short of spectacular. Some incredible Gymkhana head-to-head battles against the clock. And I hope you guys are in here in attendance are enjoying it, and I hope you guys who are watching along at home on YouTube are watching it as well. Fahad Latif, you see him, look at that cheeky little grin in the car. His eyes say, oh, he's feeling confident, he's feeling good. Well, I think confidence makes up a lot of this driver's feeling this weekend. If you're feeling good, you can get that car rotated and balanced around. It's when it goes wrong, that's when it really goes wrong. It's a drag race off the line for both these guys. And it's going to be head-to-head in that first long turn. Nothing separating these two Nissan 350Zs. As they fire across the circuit, Fahad once again looks like he gets himself into that first obstacle nice and early, rotates the car around. As Fahad now into the confined one. This one tight, but not that tight for a 350Z. I think that is why the car is the car of option here at YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. Easy to navigate, easy to move, and you can see already that Fahad has an advantage out front. And around he goes, that confined obstacle dealt with for a moment as he gets himself into the spiral. Now 2 chances to knock a load of points, knock a load of time onto your time. If you catch either a cone or a barrel on the front or the rear, but he gets it done cleanly. 2 obstacles to go for Fahad as Dimitri looks for the same 2 obstacles now. Around he goes. I think he's 1 rotation of an obstacle away from being head-to-head with Fahad. They get into the final obstacle. Fahad might have this one in the bag once again as he looks for that final long outside corner, and he's already on the drag race down towards the braking zone, and Fahad is miles away now. Oh, once again, another driver overshooting that braking zone. And I do believe that Dimitri there might overshot that braking zone. So we'll see if any time is added to his overall time on both parts of that run of the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. I hope you guys are having fun. I am having a blast out here at the VDA tonight at Marina circuit. I don't want the action to stop. I want to keep this rolling all the way through as we see the next 2 drivers pull up to the line. It will be Damir Idiatulin. So we'll wait for the graphic to pop on screen to see who's going head to head here in. Oh, so it could be the first battle of our top 8 potentially, no? Or we're going to go back and revisit a battle. We're going to find out, as it looks like it could be Danny Nikolevsky to take on Damir Idiatulin, and yeah, they certainly are. They're going to go head to head. Well, here we go. They get to stage. Our start line marshal tells them to stage. So Idiatulin in that Nissan 400Z, 350Z of Danny Nikolevsky now fires in. You see the CO2 cannons cover the cars before they get through. Both drivers into that first obstacle, and around they go. And Damir Idiatulin saying that isn't really the key as he gets himself a wheel up on the barrel. Oh, and a mistake there from Danny as he goes around and around that confined barrel. But look at this from Idiatulin, already into the pinata. Both guys take the pinata once again into the confined obstacle. Idiatulin already in and out of it. No messing around as the flames are up from the back of that carbon fibre Nissan 400Z, and he's around the first part of the spiral already. What can Danny do as he has to go round once again, gets himself into it. Oh, and it looks like Danny may have caught up ever so slightly. Can he catch up to him? Can he overtake him? That is the question. As Damir Idiatulin puts that 400Z around the second to last obstacle, and Idiatulin already up and gone into that final turn. Idiatulin, foot flat to the floor, looks for the drag race down to the braking zone. He's halfway down as they fire across. Oh, and Danny Nikolevsky almost takes it across the DNF line. So incredible job there from Damir. As Idiatulin takes that car down, spins it around. We get those guys swapped around, and as you can see there, it will be Danny taking him on. Nissan 350Z. Lights come on for Damir Idiatulin as he sits on the line ready to go. We wait to get the all clear from our track staff and our start line marshal. We will give them the thumbs up and ask them guys to stage their cars down there on the back end of the grid. And these guys are having a blast out there, ladies and gentlemen. I spoke to a lot of these drivers in the top 16 grid walk and the parade, and they said they're having so much fun, really enjoying themselves. Here we go, car slam into gear, and they staged them. They wait for both those top bulbs to illuminate on the traffic light. And here we go, revs start to build, lights go green, and it's off and through. Damir Idiatoulin, a small advantage, but now Danny starts to catch up. Idiatoulin maybe on the side of the circuit that he's not too familiar with, not too comfortable on, but he's flying through nevertheless. Oh, and he goes wide. Danny goes very wide, gets that car back around that first obstacle. Idiatoulin fires across the track, looks to get himself into that confined obstacle. Both guys doing a good job so far. No contact made. As they look for the pinata, Damir Idiatoulin takes out the pinata, so does Danny Nikolevsky. Back into the confined obstacle for one spin round before heading over towards the spiral. Idiatoulin into it, now Danny into it. There is only a few hundredths of a second that's splitting these two guys. He goes around the inner obstacle. Danny being very careful not to try and add any time onto his overall time between both of these runs. Idiatoulin looks for the final obstacle of the run. Around he goes. He now starts to pull an advantage on Danny Nikolevsky, as Nikolevsky looks for the drag race, but Idiatoulin is already into it. Fires down and looks for the brakes. Oh no! Danny crosses the centre line, and I think he knows it. I think he knows already, pulls straight off the line, and it was a cross of the centre line there for Danny. Oh, and it's such a shame because he did such a good job there trying to catch up with Damir Idiatoulin. But if we go back on the line, we go Anthony Habib now to take on Samir Sabeh. And these cars now starting to lose some body panels. Temperature still hot here in Abu Dhabi, 22 degrees at the moment. And as I say, the drivers really feeling the heat. A lot of thinking going into our drivers this evening here at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. Having to think about every single thing they do. Anthony Habib, though, looks cool, calm and collected. He said he's having a lot of fun. A brand new discipline to him. Look at that, and the smile says it all. The thumbs up to the camera. He's having a really good time here. He said this new discipline, a way of driving my car, is so much fun. He said there's so much thought has to go into it. It's not always about spinning wheels. Grip could be the key here this weekend for a lot of these drivers. And they're saying that putting the grip into the car not only makes you accelerate off the line, you don't want to spin those wheels off the start line, because if you do a rolling burnout, you're not going to get to that first long corner as quick as your opponent. So back down there on the start line. And we wait for our start line marshal to give the thumbs up, and then they'll be asked to stage the two cars. Well, here we go, they are getting the thumbs up already as both guys start to creep forward and stage those cars. We wait for the green light, and we are good to go. Good drag race down, Samir taking it. Maybe he thinks he's got the pace around the track, but Anthony Habib got the jump on him. But look at this already. Samir Sabeh has got this one absolutely dialed in. He's turned his hand to Gymkhana driving, and now is absolutely in a really good place. Look at this, into the confined obstacle. As Anthony Habib also enters a confined obstacle. The pinata is a really good test to see where they are. It's head to head. Anthony Habib and Samir take out the obstacle at the same time. Back in to the confined obstacle they go, in and out, job done. They look for the spiral, they fire across the circuit. They both get into it at the same time. This is going to be a drag race, ladies and gentlemen, to the end. Who's going to take it? Oh, and it looks like body panels hanging off. Oh, Samir gets lost. No, it's all falling apart for both drivers. Anthony Habib makes his way around the second to last obstacle. As Samir Sabeh gets himself around the last one. Do we have barrels down? What do we have down? You see the tail light hanging out the back of that Infinity. We do, we have a barrel down for Anthony Habib. Oh, and he takes a cone on the centre line. Wow, both guys shake their head. Look at this. You can see Samir Sabat in the car shaking his head. We'll have to get the tablite removed there off of Anthony Habib's car. That was absolutely extreme. As you can see, a barrel down as well. As Anthony Habib came absolutely flying in, takes one of those barrels down, which denotes our braking area. The track marshal just making sure that's back in its correct position. Well, both guys making mistakes right near the end of the run. That was very, very interesting and super exciting. They go down to the back of the grid. Those cars will be called ever so quickly, and then they'll be back on the start line to swap around and do it again. I think this is going to come down to the second run of the top 16 battle between Samir and Anthony Habib. There we go, both guys ready to go, pull to the line. And this could be it. Both making mistakes, barrels parts of the circuit missed. Are they both sitting with an equal time at the moment? They're asked to stage. All right, here we go, green light, both cars off the line, through the CO2 they go. And they both slow it down, very technical now this time, as both guys will not want to make a mistake. They want a clear pass of this Gymkhana circuit, both into that first obstacle together. Around they go, looking then for the confined one inside that box. Samir looks like he may have a jump here ever so slightly on Anthony Habib. He looks for the exit out, and I think he has. Who's going to take the pinata first? Oh, and it's going to be Samir. Samir has got the jump on Anthony Habib, but he made a mistake last time when he was in this position. Can he keep it clean? He goes in and out of the confined obstacle. Into the spiral goes Samir. And now Samir has a real jump on Anthony Habib, but Habib maybe just want to be keeping it clean. Round they go, and round they go again. Inside looks for the last two obstacles. Samir gets into it, but as Anthony Habib caught up, we may find out who takes him through to the top 8. Samir, last obstacle attacked as they look for that final long corner. Oh, it's going to be a drag race between these two guys. Head to head. Oh, and it's Samir. Samir gets that jump on Anthony Habib down towards the line. Well, the helmet's off for Anthony Habib. I don't know if he thinks that's him done. Barrels down, cones attacked, but wasn't clean for Samir either at the same time. So that's going to be interesting to see who advances through to the top 8. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we'll give you all the information as it comes up to us. We'll put that on the screen when we can. Don't forget, we have a break between our top 16 and our top 8, where you guys in attendance will be able to head down into our festival area where we'll have DJ sets, food. You'll be able to check out all of the stuff from our partners we have here in attendance. No Grip DXB here with those crazy carts. Our partners are in Tico as well down there. Don't forget, if you want a ride along, if you want to see what it's like to be out there on that track, head on over to our partner DX Drift Academy to get into one of the G taxis in the break between our top 16 and our top 8. Where we'll be sending those guys on circuit with you in the passenger seat. So if you fancy a spin around the track, jump on over to the DX Drift Academy and get yourself booked in for a G-Taxi ride along. And everyone here this evening enjoying themselves, including me, and I hope you are here too if you're in attendance. Hopefully you're enjoying tonight's activities here at the VDA Yas Marina. So it's going to be Lucas Garrett now. Going head to head with car number 45. Car number 43. Which I do believe is Alexi in that 350Z. Well, Lucas Garrett gets himself into that confined obstacle, but look at this out front. Both guys taking the pinata, hanging from the back of those machines into the confined obstacle again. And it is Alexi in that 350Z. Looks like he's ahead right now as he gets himself into the spiral early. Big flamer ups from the back of the 350Z. Getting that car on throttle, trying to rotate it around and around the barrel into the second to last obstacle for Alexei. And did Lucas Garrett just catch up? I think he may have done. Oh no, he's not. He's behind by one rotation. This is going to be down to the wire. If any of these guys have made a mistake, Alexei fires into that final corner, and it looks like he'll have to jump on Lucas Garrett in that Mustang, as he does, all the way down and into the braking zone. As Lucas Garrett in that Mustang fires down and tries to get that car stopped in time. So, by now you'll know the order of the competition. We get those guys swapped around, restaged and ready to go again. And it looks like Lucas Garrett is ready to go, no messing around in that Mustang, straight back to the staging area, to the start line. Maybe just going to use those tyres. These tyres now, you see motorsport before, you see those marbles at the side of the track, that disregarded rubber. It will stick to the tyres of these cars as the tyres get hot and these guys go around. So they will try and scrub that off. And you can also see the guys down there cooling down the rear tyres on the car. So cooling them down, trying to get them back to temperature before they head back out on circuit for the second half of the run, just to try and get as much grip as they can. They want that grip, they want that drive, because it's all about time. It's all about precision and skill. But if the tyres are overheating on the backs of these cars, which, as you can imagine, they are, they're spinning quite a lot on most of these turns, but they want them to grip, not spin. And right now is an important part. When they stage here and they get that green light, they want a nice, clean drag race right down to that first corner, and that is where it counts. If you get a nice, clean drag race down, you're ahead already. So smiles all around there for Lucas Garrett inside that Ford Mustang V8. And they get the thumbs up from our start line marshal when they are ready to go. They stage the cars into the area, and once those two top bulbs are illuminated, as they are now, it's a drag race. We watch the lights go green, the CO2 cannons fire, both these guys go straight through. And it's a good drag race. You can see the effect it has cooling those tyres. As Alexei gets the jump on Lucas Garrett. Oh, locks the front brake though, tries to get that car revolved around that first obstacle. Lucas Garrett trying to catch up though into the confined obstacle. Goes around and around, 2 passes he has to do with that. Then exits, looks for the Pinata. It's going to be Alexei who takes it first. It just goes to show you he's probably a second ahead at the moment. Alexei in and out of the confined obstacle once again. He's now starting to pull even more speed and more time ahead of Lucas Garrett as he keeps it clean around the spiral into the inner obstacle. That 350Z on form as he looks for the second to last obstacle. Twice around this one for Alexei. Lucas Garrett doing everything he can, trying to keep it nice and tidy, but it looks like Alexei has this one. He's already on the final turn, looks for the drag race down, and he's miles away already. Lucas Garrett cannot hang with that 350Z as he gets it into the braking zone. It's job done from both guys. Wow, what a battle. It looks like to me, Alexei doing a good job there from Belarus in that Nissan 350Z. As the next two guys pull up to the line, Ali Shazwani now in this Altezza pulls to the line. So, Ali Shazwani sits in the car, cool and relaxed. Look at this, very chilled out. Shazwani adjusts the driving gloves. He gets ready to do battle against the clock and his opponent, who will wait to return to the grid. Yep, and here we go. It's going to be Fahad Latif. Fahad just adjusting himself, getting himself into position. So here we go, both guys on the line, ready to go. Ali Shazwani in that Toyota Altezza or Lexus IS200 or 300 from wherever you are in the world. And Fahad in that Nissan 350Z. It says on the back of his spoiler, chasing the dreams sideways. CO2 cannons fire. Oh, look at this from Fahad. Oh, and it looks like there might be a problem with Fahad's car as Ali Shazwani gets into it around that first long zone, that first long corner. As now Fahad catches up, gets himself back into the mix, but we know how fast Ali Shazwani is as he gets into that real tight obstacle. Super confined, those barriers stopping you going super wide. You have to keep it controlled, you have to keep it tight. Ali Shazwani takes out the pinata. So does Fahad. They fire back once again into the confined obstacle. They look now to fire across the circuit into the spiral and almost contact with that obstacle from Fahad. Had to make avoiding. Shazwani is flying. I'm just trying to see how many seconds ahead he is. He's at least 3 seconds ahead already. Ali Shazwani doing a great job as he gets himself in that last obstacle, looks for the last pull around that long corner down the drag race as Fahad now looks to do the same, but Ali Shazwani fires across to the braking zone and you can see the gap already opened up to 5 seconds. Ali Shazwani tonight is a man on a mission. He looks like he can't be stopped, but somebody out there will definitely put him to rest this evening because he has been on form. But it only takes one wrong move here at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. One wrong move, one barrel, one of the obstacles, one of those big barrels knocked down, and it could be points added to your time. So we're going to see those guys call those cars down. We're going to swap them around back on the line. I'm excited to see this one. Shazwani going to be as confident as he was earlier on as we get him to the other half of the circuit. Shazwani's been a man on a mission. And as I say, looks unstoppable. Can he be unstoppable or can someone stop him in his tracks? Tonight's action here at the VDA Yas Marina has been phenomenal. I hope you guys are enjoying it, watching along at home, and I hope you guys here in attendance are also enjoying it. Don't forget, we have a break coming up with our G-taxis are available. You can head out on circuit yourself. I might even try and jump in for a quick spin around the circuit before we head back to the action. But let's get back to the start line to see exactly what's going on down there. Do we have 2 cars in the staging area ready to do battle for the second half of their run on that mirrored track? And it looks like we do. It looks like Fahad is going to get himself into that staging area. Pulls that 350Z up, backs up, ready to break that beam. Ali Shazwani now pulls up on the other half of the circuit. Things could get interesting now. Ali Shazwani has been flying. So here we go. Oh, and it looks like we have got Fahad jumping the line there, has to back up, reset and go again, getting a little eager. There we go. Clean start from both these guys. We're getting straight into it as they fire through. Oh, look at the sparks again from the brakes on that Toyota down there. That Altezza heavy on the foot brake. The sparks are up from the front wheels. It's a fireworks show on its own as Fahad gets himself in to the first obstacle. Both guys not messing around. It's head to head as they get in to the confined obstacle. Flick the car around once, flick it round again, and then look for the pinata. It's clean from both of these guys. As Fahad takes down the obstacle, so does Shazwani, but Shazwani looks like he is ahead ever so slightly. Shazwani into the confined obstacle for the last time before he looks for the spiral. Across the circuit he goes, in and around, trying not to knock down any barrels or touch a cone. Oh, and Fahad takes a cone down on the way into the spiral, and it's going to be points added to his time. That is going to be absolutely killer for his overall time here at the YUKA Gymkhana. He snapped the spoiler on the back of the car. Shazwani goes around the final obstacle, then looks for the drag, and this one is Shazwani's in the bag. What an incredible drive from this young man as he stands on the accelerator to the braking zone. Wow! Fahad, though, bringing the fight, trying everything he can, but risked it all, screams to a halt. Well, the broken and sad spoiler of Fahad's car as he pulls away off the grid down to the back end. And a sad sight for Fahad as he leaves the... 19, Samir Sabeh. And we are getting through the action thick and fast here. And my apologies, I've just been told that there won't be a break in the action for you guys here in attendance. So if you still want to check out all of our partners and all of the activation we have going on here, please head on down to our festival, check it all out, have a look around. It's super exciting. We're moving things on though, and it's going to be Damir Idiatulin to take on Samir Sabeh. I have no answer for this one because Damir Idiatulin has been very fast, but Samir Sabeh has been so technical, but there was chinks in the armour for Sabeh earlier on. He did make contact with one of the barrels. He did miss a part of the circuit. Damir Idiatulin adjusts the gloves, gives a wave to the camera. He says, I love you. I love you too, Damir. You're an incredible driver. And it was Valentine's Day yesterday as well, so maybe that was to his partner, not to me, or to you at home watching along. Here we go. We're having fun here at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge 2026 VDA Yas Marina circuit. The lights go green and we are off the line. Don't take your eye off this one, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be head-to-head. Look at Damir. He's very tight to those barrels on that first turn. It's going to be head-to-head as they fire down into that first obstacle. Oh, and Samir gets the jump on him, but he goes wide. Swings it around. Damir keeps it clean. They head towards the confined obstacle inside that box. Damir doing a good job already as he gets round and around again. Samir as well. Who's going to take the pinata first? Looks like it's going to be Idiatulin. Samir, though, not far behind. Back into the confined obstacle once again. Out he goes as Damir Idiatulin fires across the circuit. Looks for the spiral. And a big jump already as Samir gets himself into the spiral. Will he fulfill it? Oh, and he misses one rotation of the spiral. That'll be time added on his overall time. Samir around the second to last obstacle. Looks for the last one as Damir makes his way to the final obstacle. It's going to be a drag race to that final braking zone. Samir gets himself around it, heads towards the drag race, and he is ahead. But Will, missing that zone, put a whole bunch of time on his overall time. Well, I knew that one was going to be electric, and I said to you guys at home and you guys here in attendance, don't take your eyes off it because it was an absolute riot out there on circuit. These guys swap around Idiatulin now to pull up on the other half of the circuit, ready to do battle. We know that Samir Sabeh takes a few moments to cool that car down. So he's just going to take those 2 minutes that he's allowed to get that car cooled down. As Damir waits in the background, ready to stage his car on the line. Cars are moving down there and you can see Damir gets that car staged, ready for action. On the opposite half of the track, here comes Samir, called to the line by our start line marshal. And a massive thank you to all of our staff here at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. Done an incredible job this weekend, not only constructing this circuit, but making this championship, this event, run so smoothly. An incredible sight to be seen here at the VDA tonight at Yas Marina. We wait for the lights to go white Both drivers are staged. Here we go. We're going to go green. This one is going to be it. Heads up, both guys spinning the wheels. Neither of them can get traction down into that first long corner. Samir Sabeh fires into that first obstacle. Who's ahead? Who's behind? That's what I want to know. Where are we sitting? Now, it looks like we're head on head at the moment. Both guys head into the confined one as Samir Sabeh fires around and around. Damir Idiatulin gets that car rotated perfectly. Looks for the pinata. A quick flick across the circuit. Tags the pinata. So does Samir. This is head to head. They're both in the confined zone. Is Idiatulin maybe just a few seconds ahead with that time advantage, with Samir missing the second half of the spiral? Will he get it this time? He does, as Idiatulin fulfills it as well. They look for the second to last obstacle. Both get into it. It's going to be a drag race, ladies and gentlemen, to the braking zone. Idiatulin and Samir Sabeh fire into that last zone, that last obstacle. But it looks like Idiatulin may have the jump on this one, the final corner coming up. And where do we sit as we get to the drag race? And this one's got Idiatulin's name all over it. Wow, from Idiatulin. Wow, what an absolute head-to-head battle there between those two guys. Incredible, incredible stuff. Damir Idiatulin doing a sterling job. Samir, just some mistakes creeping in, missing that second half of the spiral, and that's all it takes. You get slightly confused, you miss where you are on track, and then before you know it, you're adding seconds to your time. And as well, you knock over any one of our obstacles, one of those barrels, you will be adding time onto your overall time, 22 runs. And I think Samir Sabeh there just fell to Idiatulin, who looks so strong. I'm going to head back to the line now to see who's up next in our YUKA Gymkhana challenge. It's been absolutely phenomenal so far. The action's not stopping yet. Let's head back down to the start line to see how we sit and who's on the line ready to go. Well, we're waiting for our drivers to prepare and get themselves back to the line. There'll be a few moments break here at YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. So don't forget, if you are in attendance and you want to check out some of our activations, head on over to our festival where we're having some DJ sets going on. Also, we'll have our karting from our No Grip DXB. I really want to have a go at those before I go home tonight, but I don't think I've got time. I'm supposed to be working. Don't forget, we've also got activations from our partners Rentico over there. We've got the guys from DX Drift Academy showing you around cars, but also maybe later on you'll be able to grab a passenger ride from our G taxis. We're hoping to still have enough time for you guys to do that this evening here. Also, don't forget to check out our car exhibition, which is supported proudly by Sony. We'd also like to thank our all-time partners, Fortis and iCore, leaders in cybersecurity and information technology, supporting tonight's event. A massive thank you to those as we now get cars back down on the grid. And it looks like we do have a car number 43. Alexei back on the line from Belarus, that Nissan 350Z, that Anarchy team car. Gets it staged up there, and our start line marshal just telling him he needs to move to the other side of the track first. So our start line marshal down there giving our drivers the information of what is going on, where they need to be positioned. So if this is your first time watching YUKA Gymkhana Challenge, welcome, and welcome along to some of the most precise driving you're going to see. Two technical courses side by side, mirrored. Every mistake costs time. Speed matters, but control wins. It's all about beating the clock. But when you have someone alongside of you who's breathing down your neck, that's not so easy most of the time. Don't forget, these guys will get points added, seconds added to their overall time, which is the two times from either side of the track added together. If they clip or move one of the barrels, they get 2 seconds. If they miss a pinata, it's 3 seconds. If they don't drift in a drift zone, well, it could be 10 to 20 seconds. And and take it over. Well, there we go, back down the back end of the grid, and we can see Alexei down there waiting for his challenger. Who will it be? Who is going to pull up to the line? We're going to find out in just a few moments' time. You can hear a car warming its tyres in our tyre warming area. And again, I'm going to explain, if you don't understand, why there are warm tyres in that tyre warming area. And that is because these guys want to get heat into not only the front tyres, but the rear tyres also. They want all 4 tyres, just like a Formula 1 car, nice and hot and sticky. Because when they fire those cars into those first long turns, they want them to hold around. They want to grip around that. They don't want to slide off into that tyre wall, or it will be weekend over for these guys. Well, here we go. It's going to be Ali Shazwani to pull to the line, and Ali Shazwani has been a man on a mission tonight. Lexus IS 300 or Toyota Altezza from wherever you are from in the world. Here we go. Light goes green. Both guys absolutely fire off the line. Shazwani's been on form. Can he keep it up right now against Alexei, who's been, again, on incredible form? Look at this, though, already from Ali Shazwani as he puts that car where it needs to be, fires through into the first obstacle. Around they go as Shazwani puts the car around once and across the circuit into the confined one. Both drivers into the confined obstacle. They flick the car around and around. They exit. They both exit at the same time, but it looks like Alexei could be ahead. He clips the pinata. Both guys clip the pinata as they head into the confined obstacle once again. Both guys exit at the same time. They fire across. They look for the spiral now. No mistakes so far from what I can see from either driver. Alexei may have the jump on Shazwani at the moment, though, as he gets around and around. Shazwani goes for it, but already into the second to last obstacle goes Alexei as he puts that 350Z around and looks for the last one. One turn of that for Alexei, and it could be a drag race to the end. He's already into the final turn. Alexei taking the opportunity to quick race around it as he fires down. Look at this from Alexei, the chink in the armour from Shazwani. Well, there we go. Both those guys are going to swap around, and I didn't think I was going to see it. I didn't think I was going to see a chink in the armour, but Alexei just bringing the fight there to Ali Shazwani. Shazwani doing a good job in that Lexus IS 300 or Toyota Altezza. But I think we have seen him slightly fall down there. I think he came out of the back gate swinging, but I think Alexei had his, well, that's for sure. We're going to swap them around though, because we've seen this happen already this evening multiple times, and we've seen drivers fall foul to some of these moments when we swap them. That is the gift of Gymkhana. You swap them around. That mirrored track is what really gets to some of these drivers. It gets under their skin, in fact. They just can't shake the fact that they have to do it, but on the opposite side, and that really throws them. It's a mental game as well as a physical game out there tonight on the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. They're back to the start line to see these two guys come off the line ready for action. Well, here we go. Alexei pulls to the line. Ali Shazwani will now join him alongside in that staging area. Our start line marshal will call them forward. Ali Shazwani to take on Alexei from Belarus. And once we are all clear to send, and we certainly are all clear to send, both guys will pull up. You'll see those light bulbs at the top of our staging light up bright white. It will go amber and green, and there we go. They fire through, and look at this already. Shazwani breaks on fire once again from Shazwani. He's absolutely flying. He loves this half of the circuit. But look at this from Alexei. He's definitely got Shazwani's number tonight as he gets it in to that obstacle. That first one taken. Can Shazwani do anything to keep a hold of it? Flicks that car around and around and around as he now looks to exit and get a hold of that pinata. Who takes it first, though? Looks like it's definitely going to be, oh, it could be head-to-head. We could have a match right now, and Here we go, split screen, picture in picture. We can see them both exit at the same time. They're into the spiral. Who's going to get there first? They both get there at the same time. Shazwani and Alexei head to head. In once, in again, into the inner object to spin around. But it looks like it's definitely going to be Alexei. Flicks it into the second to last obstacle. One obstacle less to go for Alexei. Can he get the measure of Ali Shazwani here tonight in the VDA at Yas Marina? YUKA Gymkhana Challenge is throwing up all sorts of surprises as Ali Shazwani can't get the measure of Alexei as they fire through. Well, there we go. Both guys pull off the circuit. And we can see there Alexei taking his crew back to the back of the paddock. Very interesting stuff, very exciting stuff. I didn't think I'd see anyone take the measure of Ali Shazwani because he's been on that incredible form in the Toyota or Altezza or Lexus IS300 this evening, but somebody did, and it looks like it could have been Alexei. We'll find out how that moves forward in competition in a few moments' time. I won't go anywhere. The action's coming thick and fast here from the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. I'll be back in a few seconds after a chat with our team here at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge.
iCore, advanced information management delivered with precision. From design and integration to complete project execution, we handle it all. Expert consulting and 24/7 support keep your IT operations running reliably. Trusted in finance, government, industry, and beyond. iCore, your IT infrastructure partner. Fortis delivers advanced cybersecurity and information infrastructure solutions. Our technology portfolio and IT expertise help businesses overcome digitalization and cyber defense challenges with confidence. Fortis, the best technologies to grow your business.
Paddock on my wrist, now I'm ahead of things. Ain't no time to slow it down, I'm on the better things. Buzz it down, that's a watch, huh? Not a sound, you a knob, huh? When I touch down, it's a problem. And you know it's do or die, it ain't an option. Ay, 6 chains like I'm Kumo. I'm a heavyweight, got my pockets on sumo. Kick game judo, 6 rings, you know. Anything you know I'm heating up, want to call. Yeah, face it. Yeah, face it. Yeah, face it. Yeah.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We just had a few moments break there as we get our drivers prepared for our final battle of the evening, which will be Damir Idiatulin to take on Alexei in that Anarchy Nissan 350Z. What a drive from that young man tonight. Incredible stuff. Again, a massive thank you to our partners here at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. If you haven't already, if you haven't had the opportunity, make sure before we end the evening out, you go over and check out the karting from No Grip DXB, activations from our partners Rentico. Also, go and check out DX Drift Academy. Unfortunately, we didn't get the opportunity tonight to let you guys jump out on track in one of our G taxis. But nevertheless, go out, have a chat with those guys, take a look around those cars. And also, did you get a chance to check out our car exhibition, which was proudly sponsored by Sony? And a massive thank you to our lifetime partners, Fortis and iCore, leaders in cybersecurity and information technology, supporting tonight's event. Massive thank you to you guys watching along at home tonight on YouTube, and you guys for coming out in attendance here. Well, the two guys that got it done tonight were these two guys. It was Damir Idiatulin with this incredible drive. This carbon fiber Nissan 400Z did the job against multiple drivers, but he got the job done and took it across the line, and he will be facing off against Alexei. We'll bring those guys out onto the circuit for a small little parade to show you guys and show your appreciation to those guys as they come out. And such a good drive for me, Alexei. That Nissan 350Z doing the job. And believe it or not, Damir Idiatulin talked about earlier on in the day how it didn't matter if you had 800 horsepower, 300 horsepower. The power wasn't what it was about tonight. It wasn't about having loads of power to spin the wheels. In fact, sometimes that doesn't go in your favor. It was all about using your car as a tool, dialing in the grip, getting that car balanced perfectly, using your ability as a driver to be so precise to beat that clock. And that's what it's all about here at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge, is beating the clock. Can you keep a clean run? Can you put the lowest time on the board? Well, for some of these guys they did, but for some of these guys, unfortunately, it didn't play out that way. Crossing the center line, look at that, almost tagging the cones there from some of these guys, but knocking down our obstacles, crossing the center line, making mistakes is where it crept in. And this is just a small highlight reel for you guys watching along at home, and you guys in attendance here on the big screens of exactly what we went against. And you can see mistakes there in the braking zone as well. You can come in super hot, overcook it, and throw that car through and lose the battle at the very last second. And that is what it comes down to, seconds. For me, the highlight, one of the drivers of the evening was, unfortunately, Ali Shazwani didn't get himself into the final, but what a driver he is and what an incredible skill he has. Another incredible driver for me was this man. Look, Manny, it just goes to show you, skids through that 14-meter braking zone, knocked himself out of the battle. Shazwani was doing such a good job, though, this evening here at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. It was phenomenal to see these drivers change their discipline. A lot of these drivers come from other forms of motorsport, other forms of backgrounds of everything, and the car's not necessarily designed to do what they're doing tonight.
but they've turned them around and they've got those cars dialed in perfectly for what is the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. And what an evening it's been. I'm very, very happy. I was invited this evening to come along to the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge and host for you guys and talk along and walk you through the show and be part of the parade. It's been an absolute honour. So a massive thank you to YUKA Gymkhana Challenge for having me along. And here we go. This is our final battle, ladies and gentlemen, of the evening. Damir Idiatulin to take on Alexei in that 350Z from Belarus. These two guys are going to go head to head. Idiatulin will be saying now, I shouldn't have said what I said about power because now I'm going to need all the power in the world. I don't want to overdrive the tyres though, but I need to try and beat Alexei in that incredible 350Z. That car getting the job done today, and look at that big smile on his face. Maybe he knew he was going to be on the podium tonight, that's for sure. Talking of podiums, if you're here in attendance, don't forget, you can come and check the podium out in our festival village. You can come on over and cheer on your favourite drivers, stand there as these guys receive their awards for the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge tonight. We do have an award for our top qualifier as well, which will be handed out this evening at our podium. And in a few moments' time, we're going to head on over to the start line where these two drivers will be making their way out onto the track to do a quick parade lap, just give you guys a wave so you can show your appreciation for all the hard work they've been doing behind the wheels. These pro drivers have been putting down all day behind the wheels of these incredible cars. Well, as you can probably hear if you're in attendance, but maybe not so much if you're at home, I can hear tyres being warmed on the back of some cars down there. And as I spoke about earlier, it's all about getting that grip into those tyres. And I feel like Alexei has been a man that's been perfect with that job tonight, cooling them down perfectly, not overspinning them, not getting them too hot, but just getting them warm enough so they grip up around the circuit. We're going to see those come down onto the track. And we're going to round out our celebrations on the podium after we get this final battle of our YUKA Gymkhana Challenge underway here. The last one of the night. I'm sad it's gone so quick. I don't know about you guys. They always say time flies when you're having fun, and I certainly have had a lot of fun tonight. It's been incredible. I've enjoyed myself. The challenge of Gymkhana for a lot of these guys has been phenomenal. The guys that have pulled through, though, have done such a sterling job. Well, it does look like we have a battle on the line, ladies and gentlemen, and I am being told we do think that this is going to be our third place battle. So we do have to have a third step on the podium. So I will find out that information. I will relay it to you as soon as I know. But it looks like it's going to be Samir Sabeh to take on Ali Shazwani. Well, here we go. No messing around. Off the line and through the gears. Shazwani couldn't get the measure of Alexei to get into the final, but it will be Samir Sabeh to take him on right now. And can Shazwani pull magic out the bag once again? He gets himself into that first obstacle and around he goes, but both guys are head to head. They both fire the cars across the circuit into this final obstacle in that confined zone. Last time for those guys going that way around that barrel in this half. Oh, and Samir using the side of the car to take out the Pinara. Didn't want to miss it, used the whole side of the car, took the wing mirror clean off the car as Shazwani now fires the car through. He looks for, oh, and it takes a cone with him. Oh, and a mistake again from Shazwani as he goes into the spiral, around and around. Samir Sabeh gets the job done, so does Shazwani. He's head to head, but it looks like Shazwani might be a second ahead of Samir Sabeh. They look for that last obstacle on the circuit as Samir Sabeh gets the car around. Ali Shazwani into that last corner. It could be a drag race. So will Shazwani be ahead? He is ahead by a mile as well. Well, there we go. Both guys get into the braking zone and now over to their teams to get those cars cooled down. And still temperature here in Abu Dhabi, 22 degrees this evening here in Abu Dhabi at the VDA Yas Marina. So cars and drivers still feeling the heat at the moment on the circuit. And our team's just taking that allowed 2 minutes to get the car cooled down before they head on over back to the start line to the other side of the circuit to do it again. Ali Shazwani moving one of those cones in the spiral. And you can see the teams there just trying to cool the radiators down in the back of the car. So once that 2 minutes is up, our start line marshal will call both of those guys over to the line. And it looks like they are being requested to get to the line. Yep, the team's telling the guys they have to go, they have to get to the start line. Samir Sabeh will pull up. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, I will let you know if this is for third place as soon as we know who takes it. And we'll move along to our final. We'll bring out Demir Idiatulin and Alexei. So both guys ready to rock and roll. Light goes green and they're off through the CO2 cannons, fire through. And once again, look at this from Shazwani. Those sparks in the front of that car are just incredible, but it just slows him down enough to get that car rotated and turned into that final corner, both in to that first obstacle. Around they go. They look for the confined one inside that box. What can they do? The Shazwani sparks from the brakes again as he flicks it around. Look at the precision from Shazwani. Get this nose shaking, Samir Sabeh, as he gets that car rotated around and fires down. Shazwani takes out the pinata first, and Shazwani looks like he's got this one in the bag. Flicks it again, dangerously close to the plastic wall as he comes out of it, looks for the spiral. Samir Sabeh behind by a mile right now as Ali Shazwani almost takes down a barrel, gets into the second portion of the spiral, goes around. Samir Sabeh sacrifices some of the spiral to get, oh, he goes around one of the barrels wrong. He makes a mistake. Samir Sabeh's made a huge mistake. Ali Shazwani gets in to the second to last obstacle. One more to go for Ali Shazwani. And Samir Sabeh has lost himself on circuit as Ali Shazwani fires down to the braking zone. Look at the brakes of the car, almost on fire. Samir Sabeh completely lost, doesn't know where he is. Oh, and he puts the car into a spin. It's a nail in the coffin for Samir Sabeh. He smokes the tyres on the back of that BMW 36 and he says, that is all I have. Well, there we go. Cars will be cooled down, and I do believe we are now going to get our two finalists out onto circuit. And we're going to bring them out for a parade on the track. These two guys are going to be battling for top step on the podium. Well, we are just hearing word that both our finalist drivers are making their way down to the back end of the grid. And speak of them, there they are. It will be Alexi and Damir Idiatulin. They'll be pulling on to the track to do a quick parade lap in front of all of you guys here. So don't forget, if you've enjoyed tonight's activities, give them a round of applause, give them a little cheer. They're going to do a parade, just drive around and wave to you guys just to show their appreciation for what you guys have done. Come out and to support YUKA Gymkhana Challenge this evening here at the VDA Yas Marina. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you are in attendance, make sure you give them a round of applause. Cheer, wave, clap. They will absolutely love that. They will enjoy seeing your faces. They will enjoy seeing you showing your appreciation for these two guys, two absolutely steely competitors. Both have been unbelievable behind the wheels of their machines tonight. That 350Z and that 400Z doing absolute work out there this evening. And look at this, a shake of the hands between these two drivers. One last smile before they get in the car and the helmet drops. And it's serious business for these two guys. There we go, Damir Idiatulin and Alexi get back into their cars. They'll head down to the start line, and that is it. It will be time for battle, the final battle of our YUKA Gymkhana Challenge 2026 here at Yas Marina Circuit. So there we go, that beautiful carbon fibre Nissan 400Z, a brand new car. Built this year by the team FreshX Racing. And Alexi in that Nissan 350Z, representing Anarchy on the side as he slips the helmet on, straps himself in and makes his way back down towards the start line. So there we go, a little pop and a little flame. He's in the mood to party, that's for sure. Both of these guys are, as they head down there, get themselves finally prepared, turn the cars around, and head to the start line to stage for the final time this evening. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you were tuned in online, a massive thank you for you guys tuning into YouTube, YUKA Gymkhana, and supporting us. If you came out tonight to be here with us, a massive thank you for coming out here to the VDA to support the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. See both our drivers. Look at that, big smiles on all our faces, even our start line marshals. He's been having a good time down there. I hope everyone here who attended or watched online had a really fun evening. I certainly did. I can't say it enough. I've had such a good time here tonight at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. Something completely different for me, but so much fun. And Alexi pulls to the line as we await Damir Idiatulin to make his return to the start line in that carbon fibre 400Z. Well, if you want to find out more about YUKA Gymkhana Challenge and maybe want to jump into the ring yourself against some of these drivers and feel that you have the skills what it takes to navigate your way around one of these custom-built Gymkhana tracks here, maybe in the UAE or anywhere else across the world, jump on over on Instagram to yukagymkhana.ae. Follow along. These guys are going to be putting on more shows in the UAE over the coming years, and they'll be doing a great job. As we spoke about earlier, trying to progress drivers from the GCC and all the way across the UAE and show them on a platform like this for you guys to watch along to and put on some incredible shows like we have tonight. This has been fun, and also with all of our partners down there on the grid in our festival village. DJ sets, ride-alongs, we have it all. So don't forget to follow along at YUKAGymkhana.ae. So it does sound like we are going to get so there we go, we can hear cars warming up down the back end of the paddock. And as you can see on your screens, some highlights from today's action here at the VDA. Some frills and spills, and some of the drivers have put it all on the line. That man, Ali Shazwani, was doing an incredible job in that Toyota RS 300 or Lexus 300 from wherever you're from. The same goes for that man right there. Samir Sabet doing such a good job. But did he get pipped to the post at the last minute? Did he miss out a spot on the podium? And it does sound like Damir Idiatulin in that carbon Kevlar 400Z has pulled up to the line to do battle with Alexei, and he certainly has. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's almost time to kick off our final battle of our YUKA here at VDA. Damir Idiatulin to take on Alexei. Well, they get called forward. Our start line marshal gives them the thumbs up all around. They get called forward to stage those cars. Both guys pull forward. The lights go white. They'll go green, and they will be good to go for the first half of our final battle. Here we go. The CO2 fires. Both guys erupt through it as they fire down the circuit. Look at this already from Alexei as he gets himself right where he needs to be. Puts himself around the outside. Has he got the jump on Damir Idiatulin as he gets into that first obstacle? Around he goes, looks for the confined one. Into the box he goes, puts that car round and around, and it looks like Damir Idiatulin may have caught up ever so slightly. Can he get to the pinata first? Who will it be? As they both fire through it, it won't. Oh, it could be neck and neck. They get into the confined one. We got a side by side. Damir Idiatulin and Alexei both leave it at the same time. Into the spiral they go. They are head to head right now as Damir Idiatulin and Alexei go round the obstacle in the middle of the spiral. They look for the second to last obstacle. They both get into it at the same time. This is mirror image. Both of these guys are on phenomenal form tonight. They fire into the final obstacle. Wheel up. Did he move it? That's the big question. And look at this from Alexei. He gets into that long last corner. It's a drag race down, and Alexei has the jump on Damir Idiatulin. Wow, ladies and gentlemen, that was absolutely incredible. Did Damir move that obstacle? We certainly know that Alexei got the jump on him, that's for sure. That was unbelievable. That was highlight reel driving from both of those guys. What an incredible first half of the battle here at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge 2026. Those guys are going to go down, spin those cars around, cool them down, and use that allotted 2 minutes that they have. They're going to need to get them cars cool because it is still warm out here. And those guys are pushing 110%. And we're going to see what happens when we spin them around. My name's been Ian Waddington. You've been an absolute treat tonight. It's been an honour to be here at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. I've enjoyed every moment of it, but it's time to head back to the start line to see the second half of this final battle between Damir Idiatulin and Alexei. Well, they pull to the line. now let's see who has what it takes. Can Alexei take it? We wait for our drivers to get the thumbs up from our start line marshal. Well, here we go. They're on the line. Cars are going to stage. Alexei Shenziku to take on Damir Idiatulin for the final run of the night here at YUKA Gymkhana Challenge 2026. Both guys absolutely flying, and it's a drag race to the first corner. They both get into it, both navigating perfectly. As Damir Idiatulin now looks down for the first obstacle. They hit it both at the same time. This is head-to-head, neck-to-neck at the moment as Damir Idiatulin looks to get himself into the confined one. Alexei gets himself in there first, spins that car around. They both pop out. Who's going to take the pinata first? Oh, and it looks like it could be Alexei. Could be almost a few hundredths of a second ahead, and this is what it's going to come down to. It's going to be nothing in it for these two guys. As Alexei heads into the spiral, so does Idiatulin. Navigates that car around and looks for the obstacle in the middle of the spiral, flicks it around and around. Both guys look for the second to last obstacle, and it's going to be Alexei who gets there first. Gets that car rotated twice around it. Looks for the final one as Alexei heads into it. Idiatulin, can he get back into the fight? As it looks like Alexei could have this one. He's going to be the first man around that final corner as they fire down. And look at this, Alexei Shevchenko gets it done across the line. Wow, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Both drivers jump out of the car because this will be the final run of the evening. We hope you enjoyed yourself here at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge 2026, the VDA Yas Marina circuit. Both drivers, they exchange niceties and say, well, that was good fun. We enjoyed ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it is almost time for us to head over to the podium. We're going to send these two drivers back towards the paddock. They say bye to their team, and it looks like Alexei thinks or maybe he knows he's got the win. These guys are going to head back to the paddock, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to drop the mic here, and I'm going to head over to the podium with the rest of the team here at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. A massive thank you if you've been watching along line. If you leave us now and don't follow us for the podium, a massive thank you for joining us. Don't forget to head on over to yukagymkhana.ae on Instagram. Give us a follow for more action here at Gymkhana in the Middle East or across Europe. So from me, I'm going to head to the podium. I'll see you in a few moments' time. We'll be handing out those coveted trophies.
The award ceremony will begin shortly. Please gather near the podium as we get ready to celebrate today's top drivers. Stay with us. The final moments are just ahead.
iCore, advanced information management delivered with precision. From design and integration to complete project execution, we handle it all. Expert consulting and 24/7 support keep your IT operations running reliably. Trusted in finance, government, industry, and beyond. iCore, your IT infrastructure partner. Fortis delivers advanced cybersecurity and information infrastructure solutions. Our technology portfolio and IT expertise help businesses overcome digitalization and cyber defense challenges with confidence. Fortis, the best technologies to grow your business.
Light stepping when I'm walking like I'm Billie Jean. Red jacket, it's a thriller when I'm on the scene. Paddock on my wrist, now I'm ahead of things. Ain't no time to slow it down, I'm on the better things. Bust it down, that's a watch, huh? Not a sound, you a knob, huh? When I touch down, it's a problem. And you know it's do or die, it ain't an option. Ay, 6 chains like I'm Kumo. I'm a heavyweight, got my pockets on sumo. Kick game, judo, 6 rings, you know. Anything you know, I'm heating up, want to call. Face it, face it, face it,
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that. It was incredible. Thank you to these guys for having me. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. Right, before we get into the podium, we have our highest qualifier award. And that goes to Damir Idiatulin. So congratulations to Damir, top qualifier of the day. Right, and now to get into the podium, ladies and gentlemen, taking third place at the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. Make some noise for Ali Shizwani!
Throttle up, hear engines roar, tires scream on concrete floor, smoke and
Right, up next, second place in the YUKA Gymkhana Challenge. Make some noise for Damir Ilyatulin!
adrenaline, hearts pounding sync.
That means your winner. Make some noise for Alexei Senzikov!
Chase the thrill, make it last, drift away into the night. Slide through shadows, chase the light. We'll spin around, we lose track. Feel the rush, there's no way.
Ladies and gentlemen, your podium! Ladies and gentlemen, from everybody at YUKA Gymkhana Challenge, a massive thank you. We'll see you all soon. Take a safe drive home. Thank you.
Nerves of steel, head held high. Challengers, they never shy. Victories taste oh so sweet. Feel the rhythm of heartbeat. Drift away into the night. Slide through shadows, chase the light. We'll spin round and we lose track. Feel the rush, there's no way back. Street lights blur, neon
iCore, advanced information management delivered with precision. From design and integration to complete project execution, we handle it all. Expert consulting and 24/7 support keep your IT operations running reliably. Trusted in finance, government, industry, and beyond. iCore, your IT infrastructure partner. Fortis delivers advanced cybersecurity and information infrastructure solutions. Our technology portfolio and IT expertise help businesses overcome digitalization and cyber defense challenges with confidence. Fortis, the best technologies to grow your business.
Light stepping when I'm walking like I'm Billie Jean. Red jacket, it's a thriller when I'm on the scene. Paddock on my wrist, now I'm ahead of things. Ain't no time to slow it down, I'm on the better things. Bust it down, that's a watch, huh? Not a sound, you a knob, huh? When I touch down, it's a problem. And you know it's do or die, it ain't an option. Ay, 6 chains like I'm Kumo. I'm a heavyweight, got my pockets on sumo. Kick game, judo, 6 rings, you know. Ain't a thing you know I'm heating up, 1 too cold.
Face it, face it, face it, face it,